Okay. All right. So, Double R checking back in with you all today. Hope you all are well, safe, and healthy. Hope your mental health, your physical health, and well-being are A1. So, I'm checking in today because I want to speak about something that I feel like I have an insight on, and some men know this. Many other men don't know this. And the title of today's conversation is Why You Can Trust a Stripper More Than a Regular Working Class Woman. And the context is America. I haven't lived too much outside of America. I've lived outside for a little bit. I've visited other countries, but I'm American, so I'll speak in the, I'll primarily be targeting the American context. So, what I first want to do is deal with some truths that some men still have a hard time internalizing and accepting. And these are just two truths, and they're simple. So, number one, women have been stigmatized for centuries for attempting to openly express their sexual desires. This is just a fact. Women get labeled all types of different words for expressing their sexual desire as opposed to men. So, truth number two, women are just as horny as men, and they want to experience pleasure the same way men do without being stigmatized. When men want to have multiple women on their arm, there's no stigma. I mean, I would say that there's little to no stigma. So women are unfortunately stigmatized for wanting the same access to pleasure in America, particularly, and really that carries over all across the world. But we're sticking to America. So these are two things that you must accept right now. You must internalize, and if you don't, you are lying to yourself and you're deluding yourself. And we don't have time for that. I'm trying to progress and move forward. So today, it's important to know that, and I'm getting into the discussion right now, so it's important to know that your everyday woman, your regular working class woman, hides behind a mask that society gives her. She literally goes to her job every day and puts on a performance in order to not look like a whore, a slut, a hoe, and other demeaning labels. Thus, she's unable to actually and fully express her sexuality to the same degree that a man is able to. Understand that. So historically, in order to achieve that identity as a woman, the women in general have had to shrink themselves sexually to not look like a whore. So given this, many women, in fact most women, hide their true sexuality. And with this hiding, this performance, this mask, comes lying and not telling the raw truth about how they feel, who they are, and or what they want. Now, given these things, this is really the crux of my argument. Strippers operate in a different reality. Strippers don't have that mask on. They don't have to perform for everyday society. I mean, they perform on the stage, but as far as everyday society, they don't have to perform and hide themselves. They operate outside the boundaries of what Western society has deemed to be woman. Thus, since they operate outside of so-called regular womanhood, they're already judged. They're already prosecuted. They're already charged. They're indicted, prosecuted, and judged. So they have no shelter. They operate in the total raw. And that rawness gives them a little bit of a liberation to be free in who they are. Now, again, this is this entire argument is not based on sexuality. It's based on who you can trust more as a individual. And strippers, they deal with they deal with all the varying degrees in the character of man and woman every single time they get on stage or they go to work. They know men. They know cowards and everything in between. They can spot a coward a mile away. They can spot a trick a mile away. So as soon as you walk in the club, they're assessing you within seconds. They're evaluating you within seconds, literally. So, given that strippers operate from this raw standpoint, this courageous and this boldness that other women aren't able to operate in regularly, in order to again not look like hoes and whores and things like that, they have little to no reason to lie, or be fake, or put on a mask like other women do day in and day out. This is my experience. If a stripper wants to fuck with you, she gonna fuck with you, and when they fuck with you, they really do fuck with you. Like, they fuck with you hard. I'm not talking about sex. Like, I'm saying they're loyal. I mean, you can appreciate their friendship as human beings, as women, you know. So this is why I'm arguing that a stripper is more trustworthy than a regular working class woman, because she doesn't have to hide behind that mask. I mean, think about it. A stripper is no stranger to money, so you're not gonna entice her too much with money. Not unlike a regular working class woman. She doesn't have that mask. She operates in the raw, so outside the normal confines and boundaries of regular society. And she's already judged, so there's no need to put on a performance. And you also need to understand that every stripper is not selling pussy or giving pussy out for free. I have plenty of experience as being friends with strippers. You know what I'm saying? Every stripper isn't grimy. Some are, but so are some regular working class women. You can get robbed by a stripper. You can get robbed by a regular woman from wherever, you know? So you need to know that just because a woman strips, that it doesn't equate to being morally bankrupt. Don't conflate that with do not conflate stripping with being morally bankrupt, because there are plenty of regular women who are worse off in morals. I mean, just in general, when I think about it, I've interacted with regular working class women, and they have many more bodies sexually than strippers. I'm just saying. So I mean, really, you got to be a certain type of man to have this kind of insight on strippers, because like I said, if they see you as a trick or something like that, then some might take you for granted. So like I said, I think I have a bit of a privilege on having this insight, and to me it is a big privilege, you know. So there are caveats, and I'll talk a little bit about this. But if you are seen as a simp or a trick, I mean, simps don't get respect from anybody, not from other men, not from regular working class women. A simp doesn't stand for anything but pussy. That's the time that's the time when a simp wants to stand up, is for pussy. And not a stripper, not a regular working class woman will respect that. So that's the caveat. So you can get this insight if you're a certain type of man, but if you are seen as a simp or a trick, then you probably won't have this insight or this experience. But that's the end of the show today. You can really trust strippers more than a regular working class woman, because a stripper does not hide behind that mask and is not performing daily like other women. That's the show. I appreciate y'all. I'll be checking in probably tomorrow. Be healthy, be safe. All right.